Hello there. In this little clip we're going to be talking about early recovery from overweight. Now, if you're interested in the issue of overweight, it might be that you've already tried diets, and obviously the latest information that's coming out is that diets as a whole aren't that effective, because what happens is people really struggle and they suffer and they lose the weight, and then when they've got down to that weight, then they just put the weight on again. Now, this is explained in my model. I say that it's because of the OEDN. Now, in the last clip we heard a little bit about the OEDM, which is the overweight eating disorder mechanism. Now, the OEDN is the overweight eating disorder normal. Now, people who've got a normal weight have what I call the normal. But people with overweight as an issue have the OEDN, the overweight eating disorder normal, and that comes from the overweight eating disorder mechanism. So basically what happens is, because overweight is a kind of defense mechanism, because it's there to fill in the holes in the voids in the psyche around areas like self-confidence, then if we could just lose weight, then that defense mechanism wouldn't actually be operating very effectively. So what happens is we've got the OEDN, the overweight eating disorder normal, and that is pegged above our normal weight. So if I should weigh 10 stone, my OEDN would be, say, at 12 stone, which means that if I try and diet, then I can go from 12 stone to 10 stone, but the moment I stop actively dieting, I will start to put that weight on again until I go back to my OEDN, overweight eating disorder normal. So it's very important to understand, as we are taking the weight off, that we need to psychologically adjust to our lower weight. Otherwise, we'll just go back to the higher weight. So you can see the necessity to fill in those holes. So in terms of the work that I do with my overweight clients, it's about identifying where those holes are. So if we look at things like bad experiences in childhood, feeling unlovable, feeling a sense of low self-worth, feeling other people are important and I'm not, or that what other people say is what I must try and do, that's called an external locus of evaluation, where we try and get our life right, we try and get things right for other people rather than for ourselves. And so you can see that because overweight and losing weight is heavily symbolic, we need to work on ourselves psychologically. So this little clip we're talking about early recovery. The first thing that's necessary is to start to separate from the voice of the OEDM, the overweight eating disorder mechanism. Separate from that voice, so that when you have a situation, say somebody shouts at you or something goes wrong at work, instead of hearing that voice that says, what I really need now is something really carbohydratey or an enormous piece of cake, instead of agreeing with that voice, we separate from the voice. So what I call the healthy self says, no, how's that going to help me? I've got this life issue. How on earth is eating going to help me with that life issue? I'll still have the life issue. I'll have just eaten something that I didn't really need. So in early recovery, what we really work for is that separation of the healthy self from the overweight eating disorder mechanism, so that then you can start to listen to that mechanism, start to understand what's been going on inside you, so that you can start to negotiate with it. You can say to it, look, you're really not helping me. I need real help. I need you to give me back the energy that you're holding on to, and give it back to me in the healthy self, so that I can close up those holes in my psyche, and then I won't need the food that I'm eating now in order to feel better about myself, in order to fill up those holes. So in our next little clip, I'll tell you more about the recovery process.